What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for Stokastic.com, back again with the NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Monday, February 27th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. That is the only place that you will get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. And that's where I want you to hit me up with any questions. Finally, BetMGM is the sponsor. Click the link in the description. As long as you're new to sports betting and you haven't signed up at BetMGM yet, you'll get 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum and up to $1,000 in first bet insurance, so long as you make a deposit of at least $10. Now, we round out the bottom of my top 10 with LaMelo Ball, Joval, Paolo Banchero, Gordon Hayward, and Bojan Bogdanovic if he plays. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. In first, at number 5, we've got Terry Rozier, point guard, shooting guard eligible, 7,500, projected for 35. The goal is 41. He's in the optimal lineup 28% of the time. It's a fantastic matchup here for Rozier. 1, doesn't look like we're going to have PJ Washington for the Hornets. And 2, you get to face the Pistons, and they are just absolutely dreadful. Not that the Hornets aren't dreadful, too. This is just a big tank-off game. But for now, 35 minutes for Rozier. He's a fantasy point per minute guy, 22% usage, 20 points, 5 boards, 4.5 assists, and a stock and a half. It's a very standard stat line, but you've got a nice MPE, and you've got the best matchup on the slate. You want to be a part of this game as much as you can. I think Terry Rozier is looking pretty good here. I like the flexibility. Price is a little high. I don't think people are going to love him as much as I do, so you're paying up a little bit to be contrarian. Next up at number 4, we've got Jalen Brunson. And just look at this. That's 6 straight guys with 28% chances of being in the optimal. Fun to see. Point guard eligibility for Jalen Brunson, 8,400, projected for 40. The goal is 46, and he's in the optimal lineup 28% of the time. 37 minutes for Brunson. We kind of know exactly what we're doing here against the Knicks. Yeah, against the Knicks. For the Knicks. They don't really deviate too much from the script. They're 2.5-point dogs against Boston. That's interesting. No Jaylen Brown on the opposite side. It is a slight pace down spot for New York, but he's a 1.1-ish fantasy point per minute guy. 25 real points on 28% usage, 6 assists, 3.5 boards, and a stock. Look, it's a tough matchup, but you expect a competitive game. If you're ever going to get those 40-minute Jalen Brunson games, I assume they're going to happen in matchups like this. So I actually think there's a little bit of upside to Brunson. And it's not like there's anybody else that's on the Knicks that's going to take minutes from him. Great spot, great matchup. 4-game slate. Don't have a lot of wiggle room. In at number 3, we're going Jaden Ivy. Shooting guard eligible, 6K, projected for 30, goals 34, optimal lineup 30% of the time. He's playing 30 minutes a night. He's around a fantasy point per minute in this matchup because the Hornets are really bad. Their defense isn't very good. And they gain 3 possessions over their average by taking on the Hornets. This is a nice pace-up spot for the Pistons. 25% usage for Ivy, 17 points, 5 assists, 4.5 boards, and a stock. It's just, this first game, this 7 o'clock tip, Hornets, Pistons, there's going to be so much ownership coming in here just because both teams are bad, both defenses are bad, the pace is great. And I totally get it. We're not done talking about this game, but I'm very happy to get to Jaden Ivy. Do I wish he had a little bit more flexibility? Do I wish he had an MPE? I do. Does it matter? It doesn't. Getting out of that game at number 2, going to Brandon Ingram. BI is small forward eligible, 8,200, projected for about 40. The goal is 45. He's in the optimal lineup 32% of the time. He's playing 35 minutes a night right now. We still have no Zion, unfortunately. No Larry Nance in this one either. 1.1 fantasy points per minute. Interesting matchup here against Orlando. It's pace neutral for the Pelicans. They're 4-point favorites, so this should be competitive the whole way through. Small forward is always a pretty difficult position to fill. 31% usage for Ingram with no Zion around. 25 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. That's a very, very nice stat line, and you might get a stock out of him as well. The price tag is about where it should be, but on a 4-game slate, raw points start to matter, and if you get like a 30-plus real point performance out of Ingram, which would not surprise me at all, he's going to become very, very interesting because of that small forward eligibility. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Head on over to twitter.com, follow me at Josh Engleman. You get updates to these videos as we get closer to lock, and it's the best place for you guys to hit me up with any questions you may have. Finally, I told you guys before, BetMGM, link in the description, a free month of Stokastic plus Platinum on the line, $1,000 in first bet insurance on the line. All you got to do is deposit at least $10. My number one contender, and it's not particularly close, is Killian Hayes, and that does not feel good to me. Point guard eligible, 5,400, projected for 29. The goal is 31. He's in the optimal lineup 42% of the time. 30 minutes here for Hayes. He's around a fantasy point per minute guy. It's the same thing for Ivy. He's just got a better price. Giant pace up spot. As competitive as you can be against the Hornets, 19% usage. The only problem for Hayes is that he's so bad offensively. 11 points, 6.5 assists, 3.5 rebounds, 2 stocks, and the potential that Bojan Bogdanovic just simply doesn't play this game, at which point Hayes will look even better. But with Bojan in, to me, he is still clearly the number one play on today's FanDuel slate. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Monday, February 27th. DraftKings version is around here somewhere, so go check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win some money. We are back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.